Okay, I want to talk about why Percy will not be signing for the Chiefs, but I also want to start by talking about why I disagree with people who are saying Uzuan is playing defensive football and is coming to matches with a defensive mindset. Because I've been ignoring this, but I keep on hearing it. Twitter, I see it in my comments sometimes, and then ngizibe nje ngicabanga ukuthi no, mhlambe this is based on the game, yeah, the one that we just played. But these comments actually started before we played the formation esiyidlalile against the Cape Town City. So asiqale la 4-2-3-1 i-formation engekho defensive leyo, unless you are Jose Mourinho esimaziyo ukuthi ubedume ngokuyidlala leyo formation defensively and then asebenzise ama-counter. But you look at the Bayern Munich side that won the Champions League ngo-2020, you had Kimmich edlala no-Thiago. Thiago is a very attacking player, ahamba yodropha landa ibhola bese yaqala yabuild up from the back, which is what Ustebe has been doing for the Chiefs. Then you have Kimmich, who is more of a player on a long range passing yakhe. Kind of a thing that Real Madrid has been doing with Toni Kroos. But yes, kukhona Casemiro who's a holding midfielder, but then Kroos or Modric drop along him, collect the ball, play along diagonal passes, which again is something that Ustebe has been trying to do with Chiefs, but it has not come off. What confuses me ke lapho ukuthi which part of the plan of playing a double pivot is defensive, because if uzothi against Cape Town City, I get it, we're playing 5 defenders, yeah, there was defensive, but the other games I don't see how. Mhlambe ningangichazela ukuthi which part of Zwane's game was defensive, because then the players abalandelayo lapha abawu-3, or not to mention ukuthi ama-fullbacks ethu aya-overlap and they go further up. Ama-complaints engaze ngiwezwe laba abantu abakhuluma ukuthi ama-defenders ethu are-overlapping too much, which is also modern football, ukuthi fullbacks aya-overlap. Baya-overlapha nje baye phambili ukuze bezodlala ama-cross, ama-wingers a-inverte phakathi, so that we have like a line of 5 people nje aba-attack-ayo. Then you have 2 midfielders adding the numbers outside. In that way you are pinning the opposition into their side ukuze bengeke bakwazi ukuphuma. Even if bezama ukuwina ibhola, we suffocate them or win the ball back. So I don't see how a person can say this formation is defensive, because abadlala emva kwalokho unumber 10 bekuMatlow, bekuNongcobo, then khona uDoli ngapha, khona uDupree ngapha phambili, kube khona uBilliard, all attacking players. So angazi mhlambe ningangichazela ukuthi how is Zwane playing defensive football. But angifuni ke sikhulume ngalokho, asiyeni kutawo. Ngiyafuna sikhulume ngalokho, no, angifuni ukuqhubeka ngikhulume ngakho njengamanje, but anengitsheleni nisho njalo ukuthi which part of ibhola likaZwane has been defensive, because just another last thing ukuthi when he did play uCole alongside uMat, and then alongside Ustebe njalo, and then uMat was playing as a number 10. In that case, uCole was there as a person in Sundowns to make sure ukuthi Sundowns it does not like dominate a swing, because in a game that we played against Sundowns last season, kwadlala uCole noNange in that position and were able to nullify their attack because Sundowns is so dominant and they can be on the ball. But on the other matches, because we were dominant or more dominant than the other team, then it's easy to play double pivot abadlali who are more attacking minded but can still go backwards and mark. So I don't know ukuthi tactically ngifuna like siyitrika zonke, because I saw someone ebala nokuthi Uzuan udlalisa ama-defender u7 and he even counted the keeper, so that just confused me ukuthi kanti people manje sekumele sivimbise ba-Dupree. Abantu bayangixaka sometimes. Anyway, asikhulumeni ngoPercy guys. So vele ke there's been stories going around ukuthi i-Al-Ahly is considering ukudayisa uPercy, and no, I don't think the Chiefs will sign him. For I will count 3 reasons, maybe more, but I wrote 3 reasons la phansi. So I-Chiefs last season irelease uNukovic, yarelease obviously iy'trikers zethu uNukovic noCastro, our main two strikers, and one could argue ukuthi okay barelease iy'trikers ezizo-two and besingenayo i-backup ukuthi usayina ba, because even uDupree was not really a direct replacement of those two guys, and even when sesibarelizile we still needed someone ozoba njengabo, someone ozoba tall and be able to hold the ball up, which is something that Castro did. Okay-ke ubeshaya ama-injury, which is something that uNukovic could have done if ubetrainwe kahle. You get me? Ukube bethanda ukumdlalisa as a winger under Baxter, but I don't get what happened under Uzuan. I don't know whether nakhona besebebona ukuthi usejwayelwa ama-injury, but that's not the point, because the point that I'm trying to make ukuthi what was common about those two players ukuthi nabo they were on high salaries, and you have abadlali abanjengoParker nabo were kind of on high salaries and then they got released. And i-Chiefs yagcina isiqhubeka nje iclearisha all these players were here also earning high salaries, omphahlele, blah 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 and stuff like that. So because of that, I don't think uTau angabuya as a Chiefs, because angazi ukuthi ngoba i-Chiefs ngathi ayifuni ukuspenda kanje ukuthi would they be able to afford isalary kaTau, salary demand. And that's just the secondary thing ukuthi how much money is gonna want, because akusiyo imali esizoyikhokha upfront. Nevertheless, it's still something that Chiefs will have to budget for. But I think what is the second thing that could be a hindrance to Tau signing for Chiefs is ukuthi sezwile ukuthi Pirates have made some sort of inquiry to find out ukuthi how much they can pay for Tau. And I saw another publication saying there's only one team that has basically made an inquiry about Tau, and it's apparently a team that plays in the second division in France. So in a pirate by but the story is a pirate, it's been circulating, and usually we know sometimes these rumors eventually they just prove to be true. So possible ukuthi Pirates are inquiring, the team France is inquiring, and once waba namathima more than once bidding for a player, you know what happens. Bidding war, it gives the team that's selling leverage over the other teams, because now they can say, okay, Pirates is offering 13 million. Chiefs failed to sign Modi, which were costa less than 3 million. So if behluleke ukusayina uModi less than 3 million, engenama injury, kade itarget, kade seshilo ukuthi ufuna ukuza kwi-Chiefs, he would like to play for Chiefs, and yet we did not sign him. If uVictor Letswalo ngempela sagcina singa-offerishanga imali, I know ukuthi besinenkinga neteam yakhe, but there's been all these opportunities to sign players and we've not signed them, and ama-signs appoint ekutheni ingoba i-Chiefs bingafuni ukuspend imali, or i-Chiefs ingoba inayo imali. So I don't think i-Chiefs will get into ama-bidding war of signing a player like uTau. Equality njalo kunenkinga nje ukuthi imali bazoyithatha. And the other thing ile ukuthi kwi-position le uTau angayidlala khona uDoli, and for as a backup khona uSolomon noSehota. But I know angibaye kuSolomon noSehota, ngikhuluma ngoDoli ukuthi uDoli uyi-starter is guaranteed kwi-Chiefs. And we can talk and say, hey, but akekho umuntu okumele as-own scheme. But if we're being honest, last season he was our best player, and right now he's not been performing well at all. Ngeke nje ngize ngiqamba amanga cha nje akaperform nje kahle. He's only had one game after uMathe told red card against Richards Bay. That's the only game that uDoli has performed really well kuyo. Otherwise akadlali kahle. So if uzoletha uPercy kwi-Chiefs, then kumele umthembise ischeme ukuthi uzodlala kuphi. And if uzomthatha uthi hayi ngeke uzodlala ngale kwi-left wing, kushuthi uzoyingisa uDupree ngescheme nakhona. It's not gonna be a player ozothi kule stage akuso kwi-career yakhe ukuthi uzomhlalisa ebhenchini ukuthi uzoba nescheme noDoli. umdlalo njengalo mayifika ethimini uzofuna ischeme. And I know the other alternative that some of you might suggest ukuthi stick him through the middle, but uPhiliathi mbukeni wenza njengamanje. He's playing through the middle, it's not working. And uTau, if you stick him through the middle, I know kuBafana Bafana usezamile ukudlala through the middle because the system imenza abe more inverted, and it doesn't work. It just doesn't work. There are players who are just good at getting the ball and then aqonda iloda adlule endodeni ayoshaya igoli. But mawuzomfaka phakathi nendawo sekumele agijime behind defenders and then they don't get the ball, then the problem is they get frustrated ukuthi asalitholi ibhola, as a result agcine seboza, which is the same thing that I think is happening with uPhiliathi ukuthi right when coming out from the wing and then dribbling in and then doing whatever. But if uzothatha uPercy umdlalise through the middle, it's not gonna work. If ufuna ukumdlalisa wa-right khona uDoli, kusho ukuthi uzothi uDoli uzonywa ischeme naye kwi-contract yakhe kunama-promises ukuthi uzodlala. uDupree naye, I know he's out. Oh, by the way, so kune-pre-match siyaphi isingisi i-preview yegame ye-Stellenbosch engizoyenza kusasa. Ngibonile ukuthi uDupree is apparently back in training, so that's good. But this for me, Percy, he's a good player. Would I be happy to have him as an option in my team? Sure, I would. But do I think it's gonna happen? I doubt it's gonna happen. But this is football, this is Chiefs, and they might just want to make a statement because if you see a team like Manchester United, I hate them. They were like besebeyinhlekisa vele siyazi bebengebarelegate to Premier League, but bese kunaleyo panic abalandeli sebezobhikisha and what not, and bengathi United Dynamite how kwiqiqi izikhokha. How much did they pay for Casemiro? 60 million for a 30-year-old quality, I know. Mabezuka lapho, apparently now they are bidding on 90 million for Antonio Ajax. So now sebe no 150 million kade bengenayo imali or bekade busy bengafuna ukukhipha imali for the other players. So anything can happen. Chiefs might end up bidding for Percy just because we are born with abalandeli under pressure. But from what I've seen with my team, from the chances that we've missed of signing players, I don't see it happening. So sizobona ukuthi kwenzakalani, guys. Ngitsheleni ukuthi ngicabangani nge-transfer ka-Tau. Do you think it's possible? And if it's possible, how is it possible? And where would you play him? So ngibona kuma-comment section. Until next time, remember, equals and Pelumo.